friends, and welcome to another strange episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. And it says strange because you can see we're inside the canopy. Mother Nature has been raining on us all day, so we decided if we're to finish the project, we need to be canopied. Is that the term? Canopied?
Yeah.
If this is your first day visiting the channel, we're not that crazy all the time. Who I'm kidding, we are.
We are.
But welcome. We want you to feel very welcome here. If you've been here before, we appreciate you coming back and welcome back. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. So today we're going to build for our son a modern looking entertainment shelf unit that will have his PS3. It's a
PS3, yeah.
new
That's
unit.
a new.
If you don't have it, go and buy it.
New system, yeah.
And some of his ends and nodes and so forth will have a little more space, and the PS3 will sit on top of it, right? I think you missed it.
I missed it, but man. Do it again. Okay, never mind.
All right, so stick around. Like always, we're going to tell you everything we do so you can make the same project if you so desire. The design it is that it will be more modern looking, so we're going to use some different material this week, not just wood, but also metal. We're going to use aluminum or aluminium, depending on how you want to say it. So today, for the first time, we're combining metal and wood to build this beautiful, well, in our case, it will be a PS3, what do you call it?
Entertainment type center.
Entertainment kind of standard, but it's definitely can be used as shelving, display shelving, bookcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of things. This is definitely a project you can build in an afternoon, and you do not need a lot of material. You will need a hacksaw to cut the aluminum channel, and you will need some way to cut wood, and that's about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course your finish. You can leave it unfinished. We decided to finish it this way, but you can definitely let it unfinished, and the PS3 will go in one of these shelves wherever our son decides to put it, and then the rest of it will be other stuff that he wants to put, his controllers, electronics, etc.
Mm-hmm.
We also purchased 2 baskets, and this is just an idea of what you can do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, potentially, if you find baskets in good price or something, you can build something specifically for them. But if your house is more modern looking, and I really love this detail of the finish, right?
Well, yeah, and that gray makes the finish of the aluminum they tone well together.
So as always, we're going to show you every step of what we're going to do, so stick around. So we cut our first piece. We bought 2 pieces of plywood, and we cut this to 20, we said, right? And this is our depth. You don't think this is too deep? You can talk. All right, and then we're going to decide the width. How wide do you want?
So the pieces that we bought were 2 feet by 4 feet, so we ripped essentially this 4 inches off the side, so that's a 20. Right?
So we need to do, and we need to do the other one the same way.
The same way.
As we're doing our cut, you might see something interesting here. Or wrong, I mean, any way you want to call it.
It looks wrong anyway.
Right, it might look wrong and you might say, hey, Whisperer, you got it wrong. The wizard, what am I?
Well, on your shirt it says Whisperer, so we'll go with that today.
So, actually this is on purpose. And why is this on purpose?
Because that miter doesn't fit with the width of the board that we have.
We're in this
there.
direction.
Mm-hmm. So we can't put it in the channel, so we've gotten creative and put it opposite in the channel so we can still use it to guide us this way.
And keep us square.
Keep it square.
Mm-hmm, as we're coming through the saw and keep us straight.
Okay. And as you can see, this works exceedingly well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now also, the plywood that we bought has a good side and a bad side, right? This is the good side. When you use a table saw, or you always put the good side down. Because any tear out, even though our blade is doing an amazing job, right?
Mm-hmm.
But any tear out will be on the top side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember to cut the side you don't want to see,
Okay.
if that makes any sense. All right, now we have cut them to, is that our width or
Or
our?
20. Yeah, that's our width.
And we're going to reset the saw to cut our depth.
Okay.
All right, folks, and here we are on our miter saw. One of the reasons we chose aluminium versus steel is that all the tools we have will cut and mill aluminium, right? Our drills will go through it. Everything is the same tools. We don't need additional tools. So we want our height of the furniture we're building to be 40 inches, we said. So we have set our stop exactly like we do for wood, right? And we are going to have our 4 pieces of aluminum touch that. So let's progress them. The process is the same. We make sure that it is flat to the back. All of them touch our stop. All right.
Okay.
So wear glasses for this because there might be shreds of aluminum flying around and you don't want that, right? The cut is exactly like you did before.
Ready?
Yeah. And you probably see why we were wearing glasses, right?
I think it's safe to say there's aluminium flying everywhere.
Yeah. You're very sparkling now.
Thanks.
But you see the blade makes a very nice clean cut.
Yep.
All right.
So what did we do?
All right, so we're making 2 small cuts, so the channel of our channel aluminum will go in here and it will be flush with our front.
Okay.
All right? And we're
So-
going to have to make 4 of those on each of our panels.
Right, so far we've done 2. We've got to do the bottom side on this one and then 3 more boards identically,
Right.
correct? Okay.
And this, friends, is how you know your hot glue gun is hot. You just have a nice little
Drop.
stalagmite or stalactite, I don't remember,
Stalagmite.
on your surface, which we always put something there for this very purpose. Even though this gun, as you see now, it's stopped, it is actually a very good,
It's supposed to be non-drip.
right, it is not non-drip.
Probably drip because I had squeezed the trigger.
Yeah, then it was, when you squeeze the trigger, that's what
The
happens.
dripper?
The dripper. So for this project, because we needed a very small distance depth here on our cuts, and we needed a lot of them, we did 2 things. First of all, we cut 1, and then we use that as a template to cut the rest of them, right? And for the depth, we simply set a stop. A little bit of wood glue, which is the friend of every carpenter, and a stop, so we didn't have to calculate every time how deep to
Do you
go.
want to put this in the channel so they can see where
Or
it's
hot
going to
glue,
stop?
as it was.
What did I say?
You said wood glue.
Oh, hot wood glue. As you see, it stops it in the correct distance, and we don't have to calculate it every time.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to start assembly. And here, where we are in this stage, we're going to do several smaller things. For example, we are going to attach screws here because over time, even though it is very secure now, gravity will push it if you have heavy things on.
Okay.
Now it is only pressure that holds it, the channel and the wood, right?
Okay.
It is actually quite level, if I can find my level. And we're going to make sure that all our shelves are level, right? And the screws will also be a visual component, if you wish.
Yep.
And we're going to make a base for it on the bottom. And the base will do 2 things. It will make it a little more bottom heavy, which we need, right? Because it's a very light piece of furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And the base will make it a little lighter, heavier, and also give it the impression of floating, right? It will make when you look at it because it's a small piece. So the next step we're going to make. Remember, we made some channels in our pieces here, and those were intended to accept our aluminum I forget what it's
Channel
called.
aluminum. Yeah.
The channel aluminum, and as you can see, can easily be seen here. That creates a nice tight connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really, if you were to put light things, you don't even need the screws, right?
Right.
But our son might be put books on it, or who knows what else he would put.
Mm-hmm. And so we had to line up all the channels that we cut, make sure everything was in alignment, and of course measure our shelves so that they're level.
And then it took quite a lot of persuasion.
A lot of force, percussive persuasion.
This is the assembly tool. And by the way, you cannot use a soft wood here, so we use an old piece of
Flooring.
because this is very, very hard wood. And that way we did not damage the aluminum, and we were able to turn it in, because
Right.
soft wood acts like what do you call it?
An
A
absorber.
pillow,
An absorber.
absorbs the
Okay.
heat.
So we had this there, and we had it on its side, and then we used the big hammer there.
And you can see the impact.
Yeah. To get that in there.
All right, excellent. Done. How many we need? So here is a dry fit of our base. It is not attached yet, and this is the top. So this will go underneath, right?
Right.
But it is very simple, a very simple construction. We're going to shoot some staples in the corners, and that will be it. And then we're going to attach it to the top, either by glue alone or by glue and pocket screws.
Okay.
Whatever we decide. Okay? So we're using the lady's favorite clamps to ensure that our base is square, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is not an element of design. This will not be ever seen, but it's furniture. We want to do it correctly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to just use some staples
Ooh.
to keep it all together.
Okay.
We have made pocket holes to attach it to our base. We're going to turn the bookcase, is that what we call it? Upside down, and we're going to attach the base. So here's our base attached, and in order to center it, because we knew we want a 1-inch reveal all around, we simply use our 1-2 blocks, our spacers, right?
1, 2, or 1, 2,
1 to 3 blocks, sorry.
Okay.
They are really, really useful things to have in your shop, and can be used for a myriad of things like this, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to turn it over, and we're going to work on attaching the screws.
Attaching the screws.
Yes. I didn't
Oh.
say screwing, right?
We're gonna put. You're talking about the screws for these channels, right?
Yeah, here we are. We put screws, 2 screws per side, per shelf. And unfortunately, our countersink bit decided to destroy itself, and we weren't able to countersink them, which is what I wanted. That was the initial plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is our cabinet for today. This bit completely broke inside and caused all kinds of things. And this bit, as you can see, also decided to separate from its main body.
We were able to extract it though.
This we were not able to extract. So I would be much happier if this has worked, because we bought the screws specifically to be countersunk. And because we didn't countersink them, they are a little more visible than I like, but they don't look bad, I don't think, Still looks good. And this is okay. I mean, that's part of the deal. I need a better... We never really had a good luck with this set, did we?
No, we haven't.
We didn't really like them, even though it seems well, you know, it has the point here to center correctly,
Yeah, but they just don't seem to do very well.
and the shank doesn't want to grab, so
Right.
that's another problem. But anyway, we don't calculate that in the cost. Speaking of, what was the cost of this project? We calculated and we'll get right back with you. In any case, I can always remove them and countersink them.
Right, if you get a correct bit.
Right, but for our purposes, this is it. And as you can see, it's pretty stable.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good looking, just like me, right?
Mm.
And overall, this is exactly what we're going for, right? It is a more industrial, what you will call it, more industrial look.
Industrial modern, yeah.
Our son doesn't necessarily like farmhouse things, you know?
Right.
So,
Plus, since he's planning to put electronics on here, having lots of open space for
right, that was part of the design is
that
wanted
air
breathing,
circulation,
yeah.
right? Okay.
cool. So we're going to try with a small piece of offcut one of the stains we have and see if we like the look. Otherwise, we will probably leave it unfinished and maybe just poly it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to stir it.
Yeah, I do need something to stir it with.
So the decision has been made to stain it this, and it is a English chestnut. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Again, not sponsored by Minwax, but
We usually use their.
we usually use their products. Yeah. And this is a nice brown with a little bit of a red color to it.
How about alternating, leaving one natural, the other?
I don't think so.
No?
And you can start to see the way the different grains take the stain. It's going to come out really nicely. So a lot
So
of
with
staining.
the crazy material price these days, for the 2 rods of aluminum channel, only 2 of
We bought 4.
aluminum channel.
Yes, 4.
Okay,
Now,
with
we
the
didn't.
4 rods
I don't think we used all of it entirely,
No.
but we bought 4.
and the wood, we spent around $90 for this project. We still, I don't think you can buy, because yes, the material is very expensive, but also the same expense go to manufacturers, which they pass it to you very kindly, right?
Right.
So a little more expensive than I thought initially, but still what we were needing and what we thought we'll end up with is what we got with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, custom made.
Yes. And child approved. He was even the supervisor that approved of the staining process, so, you know.
Right.
He might not approve of you calling him a child.
Yeah.
Hey. All right.
So got a couple of the shelves stained. Mrs. Wizard is working on the last 2, but you can see what a difference that makes and how it brings out the grain in the wood.
So friends, these are a finished product. And it came pretty much the way we envisioned it, right? What do you think of the little trim ladies?
I like it. I like it.
I think this is a project that most everyone can do with normal tools, right? You don't need again, we use power tools, but you can cut aluminum with a handsaw, a hacksaw or a normal handsaw, right?
Okay.
And you can have your your box store cut your shelves for you if you do not have a way to cut sheet goods, or you can go a little narrower. This is 13 inches deep, but you can buy 12-inch wide, 11.5
Boards.
boards,
Yeah.
and you can then just have to make small cuts, right? And if you do it that way, probably it will be smaller, but it will also be slightly cheaper, because you can get probably out of how many boards you think you need? 2 to get 4 shelves? They're 20
yeah.
inches.
Yeah, probably 2 at most.
So it can get a little cheaper than that. This was our first design that incorporated metal and wood, and we hope you like it. I'm really pleased with it. Definitely it is not perfect, but it was our first attempt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And definitely ended up with something that we can use. So I'm overall happy. We hope you did enjoy this episode, and if you did, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the other button twice. Share, like, subscribe. Let us know what else you might want to watch in future episodes. From Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida and Durban Homesteading Channel, stay safe, friends.